Hello, this is Greg Prado, author of the books Take It Off, Kiss Truly Unmasked, as well as the Eric Carr story, amongst many others. You're listening to the Shout It Out Loudcast with Tom and Zeus. Rock and roll!
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Shout It Out Loudcast. Don't turn your radio dial. You're in the right place because it's time for another bonus episode. Episode 6. We are calling this one Metallica's Asking Us to Talk About Their Load, and we're going to bitch ya about it. Tom, Zeus, how you doing?
Oh, what a great intro. What's up, buddy? Back for another bonus episode. These are always exciting.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to this one for quite some time. And I've missed doing these because it's been a little bit of time since we put out our last one. So it's great to see you guys, and I'm ready to get this one kind of started. But usually, before we do that, we go back and see what was discussed in the last episode. So we did a poll on Pyromania for best track, right?
Yep.
Do you remember who won?
Yeah, it was by far, it was Photograph. I think we had Foolin', Rock of Ages, and
Coming Under
Fire. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like we said, cliche to say it's Photograph, but things become a cliche because they become true sometimes. So that was the runaway winner. Like, we know how polls work on Twitter, that usually the hit wins. So that was no surprise there.
Yeah, we had some feedback, as usually, from you guys. Sonny, you want to start us off? What did we get?
Yeah, so I got a couple, one from Facebook, one from Twitter. From Facebook, our buddy Aaron Martell says, great episode, fellas, but Zeus, what the actual hell is up with your list?
Yeah, we got that was a running theme on the previous episode, right?
Well, that's what happens when you pit Action Not Words, the second best song off of Pyromania.
It is.
Okay, you got to do it. Oh, sorry.
I didn't. Word. Yeah, sorry, I didn't jump on the Photograph bandwagon. But go ahead.
All right. So off Twitter, Donna Chang is sexy.
Who are you? I'm Donna Chang. You're not Chinese.
Says, classic album and excellent conversation. Best episode I've heard this year, and I listened to several podcasts.
I have several.
Now, I don't know who this Twitter account belongs to. I could tell you who it doesn't belong to, but we'll leave that alone.
Nice. That's somebody's burner account. I don't know who that is, but
it ain't mine. All right. Do you have anything else, or is it Tommy's turn?
Yeah, we got something off of Twitter from Twisted Kister. Listening now, cool to hear. It's not always Sonny Pooney. Continue his doom and gloom of hate takes on all things fun. And then we got Jack Broad. Jack Broad says their second best album after High and Dry. A lot of people say that.
Yeah.
And then Murph jumps in and says, nice short episode, where we fired back at Murph and said, what else do you have to do with your time? Spend quality time with us examining this classic, or don't. We don't care, Murph.
Was it Twisted Kister that had the problem with my hate?
Yes.
Okay, fast forward to 44 minutes of this episode, Twisted.
Oh, see, come on. It's not already.
He actually had another comment, and he wrote, I'm one of those weirdos who listen to all these 80s bands for some reason. Has a lot of blind spots. I basically knew just the hits before Hysteria. I can't understand why Stage Fright didn't open the album and why it wasn't huge. That's the standout track. Great show. That's why it was my number 10 on the show, on the episode. I think I had it 10th.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. Our friend Deuce, he always loves to give us his top 10. I think this is Tommy's verbatim Photograph number 1 and Billy's Got a Gun 10.
Yep.
We have a few other ones here. Darius Green just finished the episode. Love this. Billy's Got a Gun is killer.
Ooh, okay.
Save Rockin' Metal. First, Pussycat Dolls are 500% hotter than any Spice Girl.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, believe me, we got enough of those the opposite comments too, buddy. The episode was unbelievably hilarious, funny. Tommy's rankings were complete crap except for Photograph.
How is that possible? How?
That's the only one. I'll be honest. That's the only one that I heard complain about your stuff. They were all shitting on mine.
My list never gets shit on. God damn you.
And then podchaser.com, we got a review. Outstanding album and great conversation. These three idiots are a good listen. Thank you, Valtz Russ.
Three idiots. All right, I'll take that. I've been called
Well, he
worse.
gave us 5 stars, so that was pretty cool.
Okay.
I love the episode. I thought that Pyromania was a great pick for the three of us as our mutual one.
Yep.
This one episode, it goes over to Tom. Next,
we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, next is Sunny, and then wait for the hate to come in when mine comes up. But before we even get into that, me and Tom were talking about getting a little hot in here. So what do you do when it gets a little hot?
Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff to spice up your bedroom is even better. Select almost any one item for 50% off, and then Adam and Eve loads on the free stuff. Enter promo code Loudcast at checkout and get 10 tantalizing free gifts. A sexy item for him, a special gift for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy, and 6 free spicy movies, plus free shipping. That's promo code Loudcast at adamandeve.com.
Beautiful.
Nice job.
Beautiful.
Speaking of load, Tom, this was your choice, and you picked load. Want to tell us why?
Yes. All right. So we do, as Zeus said, we rotate our picks. So we try to do a group pick, and on the group picks, we've done Appetite for Destruction and Pyromania. So we try to pick an album that is universally beloved, and then when we have our individual picks, we kind of takes maybe polarizing or maybe kind of not, like Sonny had OU812. That's his personal favorite. He loves that. Some people hate it. Zeus had Soundgarden. Same thing. So other than Kiss, Metallica is my all-time favorite band. I love everything they do. I didn't want to pick an album like Master of Puppets or Ride the Lightning or Black Album because those albums are pretty much universally loved. I wanted to pick an album that would make for a good episode that I really like, that a lot of people really don't like. And it's very polarizing, especially amongst Metallica diehards. And I thought this would be good, too, because I know Zeus is not a big Metallica fan. Sonny is, but I already know where he stands on this, but I want to hear him say it. Say it! Say it! And an album like this, for me, is, I kind of talk about it the way I talk about something like a Carnival of Souls album, where it's an unusual, chapter in the band's discography that it's got a tremendous love-hate. It's not for everybody. And, we always talk about toxic Kiss Facebook groups. I'm part of some toxic Metallica Facebook groups. And when people talk about Load and Reload, holy shit, people just get shot out of a cannon. So, and I like to defend albums that I like that people don't like. And I just thought it would be it'd be fun to talk about whether Zeus and Sonny like it, love it, hate it, whatever. I just thought it would be a good one because I personally legitimately enjoy it.
Yeah, so, all right, let's talk Metallica. I'll tell you, I like about 2/3 of everything Metallica does. But I always give them at least one listen. I came in at Masters, right, Master of Puppets, and that was also my high school year. So you can imagine being in the Bay Area, you see Metallica shirts, concert shirts all over the place. So you don't have a choice but to at least give them a shot. I didn't love Justice. I got to be honest there. I love the Black Album. So I did get this the day it came out. I'll save my thoughts about it for later. But we know how Hetfield feels about it. I mean, he doesn't love the album. but there's stuff that Paul doesn't love that we like, and there's stuff that Gene doesn't love and we like. So I think that all kind of depends, but there's bands that I don't always give a shot to. Metallica isn't one of those. I'll listen at least once all the way through, no matter how fucking long it is. But that's beside the point. So, yeah, that's kind of my thing on Metallica.
Okay, so for me, I know it's kind of taken on that part where we talk about how we came into the album and things like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's a little bit, we're talking about how we got into Metallica too.
Okay.
So that hasn't occurred with me. I never got into Metallica. You know, you guys had a great episode on Grown Up Rock where you invited us on and we talked about bands that we didn't like that are popular. And I've had a grudge against Metallica because it's one of my theories that they helped destroy a genre of music that I like, which they described as hair metal. And I had a lot of animosity because they were kind of dicks to a lot of other artists. And I reluctantly got Black Album because it was probably the closer sounding Metallica album to what I was listening to. And I liked it. I did. There are songs on there that I liked. I've never bought another Metallica album. I've had Black. That's it. Okay. So I'm not like someone you would say is like not a rock and roll fan. Obviously, you can tell. I have a Kiss fucking podcast. So there was a reason why. Like, I want to hate them. And when you guys pick this, I'm like, fine, fuck you. I'll listen to this. I love it because this episode, you have no idea what I'm going to say about this album. I don't know any of the songs. I don't remember it coming out. I could care fucking less. This is all new. So for me, I'm coming into this new. What'll be interesting is if I ever go back to their original first three, because I know the sounds were different. What am I going to think knowing Black and knowing Load and then going back and be like, what the fuck is this? Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I gave this a shot. I wanted Tom to pick this because not just this, but like Metallica, because I kind of want to expand a little bit, get out of my comfort zone, listen to something that I didn't know. And this is the first album that was chosen that I did not have of all our bonus reviews. And I'm sure there'll be more. And I purchased this, the CD, while these two guys were like, oh, did you get started to listen to this? I'm like, no, I haven't got the CD yet. It hasn't gotten mailed. They're like, what the fuck? I'm like, no, I can't. And then what do? I take the CD and I download it, put it in my computer, then put it to my iPhone and listen to it there. And they're like, why didn't you just? I'm like, no, I need the hard copy, physical copy. Anyway, I listened to this. I'm ready to talk about it. And I'll wait till it comes around to me to discuss. But I'm glad Tom picked this. Let's just say that.
Yeah. So like Zeus said, so anybody listening to this, hopefully you're a Metallica fan. And look, Load in 90s Metallica is one of the most polarizing musical discussions you can have about a band because their style dramatically changed from the 80s. The 80s is all thrash, all epic, all unbelievable. Black Album comes along, they change their tune. They're now a hard rock, metal tinged band. Then they change even more with Load and Reload. They got their bearings down back with Death Magnetic and especially Hardwired. So this is not, like I said, this is not Master of Puppets. It's not Ride the Light. It's not even the Black Album. It's very, very different and unusual. There are parts of it where you can hear old Metallica, and then there are parts of this where you're like, this ain't fucking Metallica. What am I listening to? But I think that's what makes the album interesting and fun to listen to for me. And I think it's what's going to make it fun to talk about, as I said, love it or hate it. These are the kind of discussions that I like.
Yeah. I want to jump in and ask Sonny a question, though.
Yeah.
Sonny, you've always been again, the term hair metal fan. You're from, you knew of the LA bands and the region back then. They were all in your wheelhouse. I'm just curious, how did you get into Metallica, though? Or did you have that kind of animosity, like we're on this side and you're on that side? Because when I grew up, And, Tom, we both went to high schools in the town of Arlington, but he went to the Catholic school. I went to the public school. Headbangers are what listened to Metallica.
Right.
Now, we listened to Bon Jovi and other rock music, AC/DC, Kiss and stuff, but that was like dirtbags music and stoners. We were jocks. You played football, I played hockey. I didn't get into that shit. I wasn't smoking weed, hanging out with skateboarders with Metallica patches and shit. Those are considered losers that listen to thrash and that shit. That's how I always had it in my head. And then when we went to college, I never got into that music. It just changed. I went right into grunge. So I'm curious as to where you came in with this.
Yeah, the difference is I'm 6 years ahead of you guys, right? So We're talking 1986. So we don't technically know what thrash is yet, right? So, and I'm in the Bay Area. So, and I'm fairly young at this point too. And I'm a jock and a headbanger because I'm playing football and listening to hair metal, right? So, but I wasn't a stoner. I've never actually smoked weed. So when you went to the clubs and you saw, like I'm on Broadway, I'm at the Stone, and you can see LA Guns. You look to the other side of the street and everybody's like in flannel and shit. And it's like, what's going on over there? Like, why is this side all hair and that side's all leather? Like, what's going on? Right? Or that side's all flannel. And music seemed to be changing a little bit. So I gave it a chance. And I only gave it a chance because it was closer to the rock that I was listening to versus Exodus or some of that other stuff that's a little more thrash. And a lot of that stuff came from the Bay. Right, LA was known for sleaze, and then the Bay started getting known for like thrash.
Yeah,
right. So I was probably the happy medium that connected some of it, but a lot of that thrash I cannot listen to and don't ever listen to. That's why only about 2/3 of Metallica hits for me. Like I love Master of Puppets is an incredible album. Ride the Lightning, meh to me. Some of it's not as melodic, and that's why I don't love Justice, but I love Black. So. That's why. It's more about the timing, and by the time you guys are going to high school and college, you already know what thrash is, so you're making a conscious decision of what bucket you want to be in.
Yeah.
And Zeus, you brought up a great point about why 90s Metallica, Black Album, and the Load albums are so polarizing, because the thrash Metallica, those first 4 albums, that was, if you liked Metallica, because it wasn't mainstream, it was a community. It was like, we're Metallica fans. Then all of a sudden, Black Album comes out. Enter Sandman is a big hit. Sad But True is a big hit. Load album comes out. Until It Sleeps is a big hit. But everyone's like, whoa, this is my band. This is not your band. Where were you when Battery was a song? Or where were you when Seek and Destroy? No. This is my band, not your band. Fuck off and put down the Black Album.
Get the fuck out of my face with that bullshit.
And that's why a lot of people, and I kind of, I get that mentality, but that mentality to me is also kind of silly. And
Silly.
It's the same thing when you talk about Kiss, where people, they're like, no, you don't like Hotter Than Hell. You came in with Animalize. It's like, well, so what? So what? If you want to follow a band that sounds the same, you're probably an AC/DC fan, and that's fine.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I understand the love-hate. The Metallica community is almost worse than Kiss sometimes, because their music changed so differently. Not to mention their appearances, and we'll get into that too.
Yeah, no, I think you're hitting the points. Excellent points you're making. Because I didn't fit in. I didn't like them. These are the people I would make fun of back then in the day. Yep. And now all of a sudden I'm supposed to like them. Well, shit, maybe I do like them. I don't know.
Right.
You know, like I wouldn't think they would like these, and they wouldn't like the bands that we did. But you can kind of go back to them and say, no. They came to the other side. Exactly. The other side didn't come to them. Yep. Because they didn't hit that big time until they did Black. And then once that happened, so who really, but whatever. I don't believe in this shit about bands being like, oh, I liked them before you liked them. I liked them. I liked them when they sold 50 copies in the back of the van. I saw them at a club in 1982. Like, go fuck yourself. Pat yourself on the back a little more. Like, who gives a shit? But, people get protective of their stuff,
Yes,
and they're like, you're not allowed in my secret society club.
Yep.
I missed
sorry.
out.
Sorry. I wasn't listening to Ride the Lightning. Sorry, I like Eat Like Bitch.
Yeah, exactly. It's just crazy shit.
Yep.
It's like people that got into like Alice in Chains. They had a first EP that had like 3 songs on it. And like you can't only find it on a cassette or album. They never even put it on CD. Think how old that is, right? Oh, I had that copy. Oh, you can't like it. You only got into them after you heard Man and the Boss. Oh, that doesn't make me a fan. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yep.
It's whatever.
Though. It's fun. Like I said, those Facebook groups. Some guy. I wanted to give this guy credit because having the ball. So the Facebook group has 43,000 members on Facebook. And some kid posted something about the Load and Reload albums. Dude, the kid was eviscerated. Like I felt so bad for him.
Hey, you guys like that song? Enter Sandman?
It's like gunfire. The poor kid.
Yeah.
These guys started to become very offensive toward me and throwing bricks and block down on top of me.
Are there Metallica Facebook groups that say only fans of 1989 and before or something like that? Like, is there those?
Like the KISS groups?
Yeah, 1971 to 77. Yeah. Otherwise, you can eat a dick. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh no, they're out there.
Diet Metallica.
Yeah, exactly right. Diet Metallica. Yep. Sugar-free Metallica. Yep.
No, I bet you it probably starts with like Metallica is only up to Cliff Burton. That's it.
Oh yeah, right. Yep.
Anything after him is not Metallica. It's right. Metallica Light or Diet Metallica.
Yep. So,
well, anyway, we'd like to start most of our episodes. Okay. We usually talk about, the album cover. And what do you guys think?
So, the album cover is all sorts of fucked up. I mean, just everything, the inside, the back, the front cover. So you're looking at it, it's just horrible. I mean, first of all, the title of the artwork is called Semen in Blood. And it is a mix of it's just disgusting. It's a mix of what? Bovine blood and semen. I mean, pressed between 2 pieces of plexiglass. I mean, it's just horrible. It's just disgusting. And then the other thing. Go ahead, Sonny. You were going to jump in.
I was going to say it's Semen in Blood 3. There's 2 other ones.
Oh yeah, but it's actually the blood, bovine blood, and then it's the artist's own semen.
Yes,
which is fucking disgusting.
Oh, look at me! I'm so crazy. I'm so alternative.
So this guy Andre Serrano, I don't know if you guys know this, but he was obviously known for controversial pieces, right? He had one called Piss Christ.
That was unbelievable when that came out.
Crucifix with a Jesus on it in a jar of his own urine.
I remember that.
It just.
When did this come out? Because he's not taking credit for piss cups. That was circa 91. So I'm curious as to when that came out.
And this guy is from the East Coast, so I don't know. He might be copyright, you guys.
He probably spent the weekend at Stonehill College. He's like, piss cups, huh?
And he knocked the crucifix off his wall and it fell into a piss cup, and that's where Piss Christ came from.
or maybe he borrowed the VHS that Rye Guy, our friend, picked up for the group when we went to the video store, and he came back. He's like, guys, look what I got. And it was Pissing Inferno.
I don't think you can get that from adamandeve.com.
No. It was a bunch of fat German people having like a fucking orgy in like overalls. And then in the end, they all just got up and pissed all over one poor person. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
Scarred for life.
Thanks, Rye.
This album title, like I don't know this to be true. Maybe it is, but I can just imagine like Hetfield saying, "That's somebody's load."
Yeah.
Right, and somebody going, "Oh yeah, that's it."
Yeah, exactly. Probably. Yeah, you're right. You're probably right. You know,
One other thing.
Go ahead,
no,
Zeus.
No, Tom, go finish.
No, I was just going to say, and then one of the other glaring things, if you're a Metallica fan, you notice the change in their logo. The writing of the word Metallica, very kind of like alternative. And you got to remember, this came out in 1996. You know, and after we talk about the album cover, we'll get into 1996 and what was going on. But the Metallica logo, that was a huge middle finger to the diehard Metallica fans as well.
Yeah, even me as a non-Metallica fan can notice the difference.
Yep.
On here.
Yep.
So, in addition to that, I'm opening up the CD.
I have mine too. I still have mine.
There's pictures of the band. This is very Pearl Jam-like on their albums.
Nailed it.
One word, a couple lines from each song in a lyric. I swear this is from Yield or from Vitology or No Code or something. That's what this seems like. Are you gonna put the fucking lyrics in there or not?
Right.
Enough of this half shit. And then, in addition, which leads to the other main part about this, their appearance.
Brutal.
And I'll leave that for you guys.
Sonny.
I'm okay with it. For me, for some reason, and maybe this is wrong, but the Thrash guys get a pass for me on the hair and the appearance. They can look whatever they like. I didn't care when Cornell cut his hair. Like, it didn't matter to me. The hair metal guys cutting their hair for some reason is a problem with me. But the Thrash guys, for some reason, I give them a break. So I'm okay with the look, honestly.
The hair, honestly, the hair doesn't bother me at all because I think they all look good. I think James actually looks good because he still has that kind of menacing like goatee mustache thing that looks great on him. But if you look at this back picture, it just, you know, they're smoking cigars. You get the candles, the glasses of wine, and then the thing that just really sets it off is just Kirk and Lars with the eyeliner. It's just, I understand you wanted to change your look and your image. And, you know, Kiss did it with Revenge. They did it with the Carnival of Souls stuff. They did it, you know, God knows they did it with Asylum, like all those different things. But this, to me, and I think that's a big problem with this album. And to quote Paul Stanley, a lot of fans were listening with their eyes with this album and not with their ears. And, you know, there might be problems listening-wise with the music-wise with this album. But, okay, Jason Newsted still is a badass. James Hetfield still looks like a badass. Kirk, he's always been effeminate. He always has been. And Lars is just a fucking pain in the ass. Lars is the mouthpiece for the band. So they look a little silly, but, you know, like Sonny said, okay, fine. Close the CD, put it in and listen to it. You don't have to watch them while you're listening to it.
Okay. Where I go with this is, again, I told you in the beginning why I didn't like them.
Yep.
Okay. I want to go back and go like give them a big middle finger. All those bands that you fucking shit on about image and cared about what they look like. All of a sudden now, we're wearing eyeliner, are we?
Yep.
Oh, we're not just wearing black and jeans and t-shirts. Oh, now we're hamming it up with, you know, big collared shirts, makeup, and having our hair teased a little, and smooching to the Paul Stanley like to the camera. Go fuck yourself. You know what somebody should have done? Fucking Kip Winger should have had a Winger video where he puts this fucking picture up of them and throws darts at that, laughing at them.
That would have been good.
That's why I look at it. I have no problem with this image. I like this image. I think they look cool. Yeah. It's just the whole hypocrisy of it all. If you want, it's the Gene and stuff where he comes back and Paul that bites him in the ass. We play live. Come see how the big boys do it. You know, no tracks, none of that. Well, it bit you in the ass. This should have bit them in the ass for dressing like this. Who gives a fuck? You know, I think it looks cool, but coming from them, I'm glad they got shit for it. They deserve it. Shouldn't have been such a dick before.
Yeah, and I think part of it is that back cover especially, they're flaunting their success.
Yeah, oh, right? God, yeah.
And if you're a diehard Metallica fan that came in at Ride the Lightning, it's like these guys are like, there used to be beer cans all over the place. Now there's wine. Like, what the hell is this?
Yep.
Yeah, you got a point.
The mouthpiece of the band, you know, if you're not familiar with how kind of Metallica operates, it's Lars. Lars is the mouthpiece. And a lot of what went on during this era was Lars. He comes across and says, we were a thrash band in the early 80s. It's 1996. What am I supposed to wear? Like an Annihilator T-shirt and, look like a piece of shit, and first of all, I love that he referenced the band Annihilator.
I would have liked it better. Sorry. I guess I should have been wearing an Annihilator shirt.
Right. But so that's his way. And when you read quotes from Lars, it reeks of stuff that like Gene Simmons says when he tries to fight back against criticism of the band. He's like, what are we supposed to do? It's 1996. We want to be this band and we want to do this. And, I'm not the same person that I was in 1984, and neither are our fans. So, I get what he's trying to do. He's doing a little damage control because he knows that there's kickback from the look and from the sound. And I get that. And but just anybody that's ever heard Lars talk, he's fucking brutal. I do not want to hear that guy talk. I mean, I love him. I love him as a drummer and everything, but he's just such a pain in the ass to listen to.
Are you like sitting in a chair chewing gum and then bobbing your head when you're talking and then and like making a point and like looking like you're so passionate and your head and your neck bobbing? I just find this funny that when I read this part on Wikipedia here, some of that stuff was pretty cool, remarked Lars Ulrich. It was disappointing that some people's reaction to the music was biased by how they dealt with the pictures, the hair, and all that crap. People have come up to me years after and said, I never gave the record a fair chance because I couldn't get beyond Jason Newsted wearing eyeliner. I wasn't Jason Newsted that was glamming it up as much as you were with Kirk Hammett. And Kirk Hammett, no offense, he's not what you would call a masculine man.
And I hope that their first child be a masculine child.
Okay, so to me, it was him that was doing it. And then he throws, no wonder Jason Newsted's like, fuck you guys. He throws Jason Newsted. Oh, yeah, it was him wearing blue eyeliner. No. It wasn't him. It was you.
And I love James Hetfield. And, speaking in 2009, James, because James is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, rock vocalists. I love all the different things his voice can do. And Kirk is probably my favorite metal guitarist. His riffs and his ability to shred, I love everything about it. But James, he's always kind of in the back when it comes in terms of like the direction of the band and what they're going to do. So he even said this was an interesting quote. And I don't know if he's trying to be funny or not. And I'm sure you guys have seen it on Wikipedia. He says, in talking about this era, he's like, Lars and Kirk were very into abstract art, pretending they were gay.
Hello, I'm Blaine Edwards.
And I'm Antoine Mayweather.
And welcome to Men on Films, the show that looks at movies
from a male point of view.
He goes, I think they knew that it bugged me. It was a statement around all that. I love art, but not for the sake of shocking others. The cover of Load was just a piss take all around that. I just went along with the makeup and all that crazy, stupid crap that they felt they needed to do. And that's kind of how James was. And this was 1996. James has always had a horrible struggle with alcohol. This is 5 years before he even entered rehab, where he really, really got himself into trouble.
Yeah, I'd like to straighten out this funny little drinking problem I got.
So he's a songwriter, he's a musician, but sometimes he lets Lars and Kirk take the lead. And, that's kind of what happened here. But again, the album came out in 96. What was going on in 1996, right? It was bands like Metallica trying to stay relevant, and it was grunge and alternative rock taking over the world.
Let me add something to that. If you recall, in 96, Alice in Chains did their Unplugged.
Yep.
And do you remember the basis, what they did? Metallica was first row at that MTV Unplugged. I don't know if you knew that.
Yep.
And they had the all new haircuts.
Yep.
And the bass player from Alice in Chains I think it was Mike Inez at the time.
Yeah.
He put on his bass guitar, "Friends don't let friends get friends haircuts."
I remember that.
No one told you life was gonna be this way.
That was a huge thing.
Yep. And speaking of that, Alice in Chains, that'll be a running theme on this album review. But
oh yeah,
how are we going to start this? You want to get into? Do you want to just get into the tracks, or do you want to? And then we could describe the music afterwards, or do you want to?
Yeah, well, a couple more things just before we get into that. So I know, so in '96, and another thing that really ticked off Metallica fans too was, and I didn't go to this one, but I had been to a ton of the Lollapalooza festivals. And the Lollapalooza Festival was a place where alternative bands, new and upcoming, and like outsiders, and just the real, it identified that era. Well, then 1996, Metallica headlines Lollapalooza. And everyone's like, what the fuck? No.
Hell no.
No, Metallica does not do Lollapalooza. Lollapalooza does not do Metallica. So that pissed off Metallica fans even more, but then it pissed off the Lollapalooza fans even more. So nobody could win.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to go. I was one of those guys because I had seen Metallica live a couple of times. They were playing Days on the Green and stuff like that with some of the acts that I loved. And when I heard they were going to do Lollapalooza, I'm like, yeah, no thanks. Like, I don't want to see all those other bands with these guys. So I could imagine the other side saying the same thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. And, we can get into the tracks and just talk as we go if you want. I mean, kind of talk about the music as we go.
Okay. Well, actually, there's a few things we didn't get into.
Go ahead.
The background of the album yet.
Okay.
So, Load was released June 4th, 1996, produced by James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich, and Bob Rock. Sold 5 million copies. 4 singles released. I think it spent 4 weeks at number 1. It's the longest studio album by Metallica, 79 minutes. There's some music talk in here, which I don't understand. Maybe Sonny, about the way they played the chords and stuff like that, different types of
tunings. And things.
They changed, obviously, the logo, the look, which we all just discussed. And, people obviously couldn't get past the hair and the image change and stuff. But that is just some of the background of the album before we get into the tracks. I just want to throw. Anything else you guys want to add?
Yeah, it's one other thing. It's also been regarded as one of the albums where James really kind of opens up. James has always been an emotional songwriter. He's got a lot of issues. Family issues are important to him. There's songs on here about that we'll talk about. And like I said, this was 5 years before he eventually did enter rehab. I think James is a spectacular songwriter because I think when he writes songs, even on an album like Load, to me, I think they're believable. Maybe some other things, maybe musical stylings or appearance, maybe they're trying hard. But I think when he writes a song, I think that's real. I don't think it's not like when Kiss wrote Hate or when Kiss wrote, I think it's going to rain. Like, we know that that's transparent. That's not what Kiss stands for. But when James writes these songs, I just think he's great. And maybe the execution of some of these songs isn't what people want. But that being said, I think James kind of really pours himself out on this album a little bit more than maybe some other ones.
Yeah, and I agree. And going back to what Zeus was talking about a little bit about the change. I can compare it to Def Leppard here, right? Because from 83 to 87, the time that they were out on tour and the time it took to record the next album, things were changing, right? So by the time Hysteria comes out, people are like, what the hell happened to Def Leppard, right? Same thing happened to Metallica, really.
Yep.
This 5 to 6 years, they're riding on Black for how long? And by the time they come back, it's like, really, this is what you turn into? Like, if they drop an album in between, you get half of the change you get used to, and then you go kind of to the next step, right?
Yep.
Same thing with Def Leppard. If they release something in 85, 86, maybe 87, 88 is not so shocking.
Yep. It's true. Yeah, and one more little factoid before we get into the track. So Metallica fans, about Load and Reload. Pretty much those two albums are kind of written at the same time. Half of the songs were supposed to be on each other's albums, but I have a couple of Metallica bios, and I one of the interesting tidbits that I never really thought of until I read it was, so when Metallica toured with Guns N' Roses in the early 90s, Lars got the idea from Axl about kind of doing their own version of Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, and Guns N' Roses' record label pretty much made them release Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 at the same time. Metallica was given that flexibility to spread them out over a couple years, but Lars was kind of wanted to do the Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 with Load and Reload. So that's why if you hear both of those albums, they almost sound like one big long album. So I thought that was kind of interesting because Lars like, oh, Axl's doing that? We could do that too.
That's not a bad impression.
Well, maybe. But let's get into it.
All right. First track. Here we go.
You wouldn't probably get what the song is. I'm glad it's not about some girl because I think that would have turned off Metallica fans even more. I love that it starts thick. I love the time change in that pre-chorus. Love the guitar riff. I think the song's a little more punk, so it feels a little more old Metallica, which I love. You know, the bitch. You know, that's Hetfield. You get that. There's two parts of this song that I wish were different. One is Kirk does not do a great solo. It needs a Zakk Wylde fast solo, and that is not the last time I will mention Kirk's playing on this because there's a few places where he does that. And because of the topic of the song being basically, this ain't my problem, get the hell away from me, I think Hetfield could have ended the song angrier, and he almost ended it peacefully, right? I mean, it could have, the whole last minute could have been him screaming in the mic about, get the hell away from me, get the hell, it would have landed better for me. But that's my thing about Ain't My Bitch.
We share a lot of the same sentiments. Spectacular opener for a song. Kind of gives you some old feel Metallica. Angry James is my favorite James. And you're right. One of my first notes on this song is you have one of the great metal riff guys, soloists, and you have him doing a fucking slide solo. It's horrible. And like you said, it's not the last time you hear that. It's horrible. And to counter what you said about the end of the song, I think it's great when he's like, "You ain't my bitch." Like he's like, he just like, I love how he just it's just angry. It's angry James, and I love that he's like, when he's like, "You ain't my," and he just like he's letting it out. I love it.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like the belching contest with fucking Booger.
I love it.
And from the Lambda Mu team, Dudley Dawson.
Booger.
I love it. Great song. Great opener.
All right. Ain't My Bitch, written by James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich. Fast paced. I like the chorus. Apparently, this made it to 15 on the U.S. mainstream rock charts, released as a promotional single only in Mexico, but not in the United States. Curious as to, of all their the promoted singles, how this didn't get released. I don't know what that was all about. Yeah, I love me some slide guitar. Oh my God, I dig it. I love the sound. I love when it goes right. This is a waste of a slide guitar. I didn't even get it. Like when I read about the album, like, oh, the slide guitar's in there. I'm like, oh, they use a slide for front. I'm like, that'll be interesting. Like, where? What? That? Like, ew. Yeah, not a fan. But the song is pretty cool. Fast paced. I love it. It's a good chorus, good vocals. And that's the other thing about this. Maybe the only reason why I can listen to them as the thrash band is because he actually is a pretty decent singer. Mm-hmm. He can pull it off. It's not just some guy screaming in that awful voice that, is stereotypical of these type of thrash bands or back then. No, he can pull this off. And you can tell, has gotten 1,000 times better over the years. There's obviously growth in his singing ability. But yeah, solid way to start an album. Definitely.
Cool. All right.
Let's move it along. Let's get fucking Hacksaw Jim Duggan in here.
2x4. Okay, let me start with the good stuff. I love the drum intro. Love the Sabbath riff. Sludgy. I actually like the part where in that first part of the verse, he says, they go, ooh, and I'm like, uh-oh, here comes the hair metal. Metallica fans, they don't like that shit. but they don't do it that much. So and the song idea is good. That whole retribution, friction, fusion, whining. Oh my God, that terrible. I mean, that is, oh my God, that is so bad. And then the other part is Kirk's actually doing a good solo. I'm like, James, dude, shut up. Just let him do the solo. He has 3 parts of it. You have 4 minutes to say what you want to say. Don't say it while homie's soloing. Like, just shut up.
Shut the fuck up!
So between the whiny, the little background vocal chorus thingy, and James just yapping while Kirk's trying to play a solo, this song could have been better. I love the idea, though, and I love that talk to 2x4. Like, that is a great lyric.
Yep. Sonny, we're kind of on the same page here. Again, I love that, like you said, that drum intro. And then I love how the song almost has like a strut to it, the way that Lars is just banging away on that drum and the riff, just another riff. And that's one of the reasons why I love Metallica, whether it's old thrash Metallica or new quote unquote hard rock Metallica, just a killer riff. But like you said, Sonny, that retrib, just that whole part is just, but they save it because then Angry James comes in. And I love when he goes, I can't hear you, you're talking to me. And then he just starts screaming, I can't hear you, you're talking to me.
You're talking to me? Well, then who the hell else are you talking to? Talking to me? Well, I'm the only one here. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
And then he just goes into the chorus. It's just that energetic buildup of a chorus. I love the song.
Written by the same two, Hetfield Ulrich and Kirk Hammett actually jumps in on this one. So this was an album that I had a review that I never heard before. And I had to listen to 14 fucking songs. And I'm like cursing Tommy out. I've listened to it. Some songs stood out. I tried doing it. I haven't tried to listen to an album to review it. Like I usually would buy a CD and you'd listen to it. I forgot how to listen to something new. Like, do I do 1, 2, 3 songs, learn those, and then go to 4, 5, 6? Or do I play the all thing, but then they all will, because they're new, like I'll forget which one I like. So I played it first. I played this a lot in the beginning because I tried doing a different method where I'd listen to the first couple songs. I didn't like it. By the end of reviewing this album, I'm like, fuck yeah, I like that song. It grew on me. Yep. It really did. Yeah, that whole retribution in the background, there's a lot of elaborate harmonies going on and choruses and stuff. I'm like, Jesus Christ, is this Bob Ezrin? Right? It sounds like in the middle of I Just Wanna. Like they're doing a lot of that shit in here.
Good point. Good point.
The solo builds, and I like it. It keeps building and building. And there's drum fills all over the fucking place.
Yep.
And I love that. So I like the song a lot. Cool. And it built and it grew on me. It wasn't one of my favorites. I would probably say it was one of my weaker tracks initially, but over the last few weeks of listening to this, it's become one of my favorite ones. So
all right,
let's go build a fucking house.
I'll start with the good. The riff under the verse is cool. It's got a groove, and that whole drum start-stop thing during You Crawl is very, very Metallica, right? That's the part of Metallica that I love. The music, the vocal melody in this is musical theater. It drags like shit. That voice box guitar solo doesn't fit. The first 50 seconds were a complete waste of my time. And I had to go back and listen to Motley Crue's Uncle Jack to get the taste out of my mouth. This thing is horrible. Horrible. Besides those two things I liked.
Wow. So far, we're 3 for 3. This is shocking with Sonny. So this begins Metallica's identity crisis for me on this album. They start off with Ain't My Bitch. They go to 2x4. We know that they're exploring some different genres, some different styles. This is a song where Metallica thinks that they're Alice in Chains for a little bit. It has a droning, down-tuned kind of riff to it. It's slow, it's plodding, and Metallica can be very, very good at slow and plodding. This is just not one of the good ones. The voice box guitar solo is another waste of Kirk. I get what they're trying to do. There's too much going on in the song, and it's not one of the ones that I go to on this album.
Written by, again, those three, Hetfield, Ulrich, and Hammett. I guess James does the solo on this, and they alternate sometimes. This is one of the three that he does the solo on. You get those choruses in this Metallica. At least I can say from this album, the higher you are, the farther you fall, and just repeating it. And that shit, I will say, sticks in your head.
Absolutely.
Those little bits stick with you. So I'll give him kudos for that.
You sort of got stuck in my head. Costanza.
The riff on this, okay, I'm going to say, is very George Lynch-like.
Okay.
And I will say that another time or two on this. And there's a lot of shit going on in the background.
Yes.
So when I played it in the car, I don't pick it up. When I'm playing it in the shower, or if I'm playing it out loud on my computer, in order for me to get really an album, at one point when I start writing about a track for our album reviews, whether it's Kiss or these bonus ones, I have to put on my headphones and listen to it clearly. There is a lot of shit going on in the background. Very God of Thunder crap stuff like in the background. Like, I'm like, is Bob Ezrin's kids on the walkie-talkies in the background of this shit? What the fuck is going on? It's just like strange crap. So it makes me think like there's some sort of the fuzz box pedal, whatever the fuck they're doing there.
Whatever the fuck you guys call it.
It doesn't work. It usually does in some instances. It just doesn't work. This song, so far, of the three, is just not there. It's all right. It's not a bad song, but whatever.
No, you're right. There's too many guitar effects going on in the background. There's too much noise going on in the background. You're right. And your God of Thunder analogy is excellent because there's too much shit going on. It's
insane.
Yeah, it's just too much noise. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, Ezrin's kids grown up and they fucking hated
right
Metallica albums.
Yep.
Yep. But let's go to the next one. Here we go.
Love the way this song starts. I like that the song builds to the chorus and then comes back acoustic into the verse. James' vocal chops are perfect for something like this, right? And I will tell you, it felt a little Fell on Black Days, and I think people say it's kind of inspired by that song, which I think makes me like it even more. It's damn near a perfect Metallica song, except for Kirk's solo. Like, it could have been this great, emotional, memorable, just, obviously Enter Sandman isn't the same pace, but it's a memorable solo. And Kirk could have done something that you could have been humming for the rest of the day, but instead you're humming the vocal melody instead. So that's the only thing that doesn't make it basically a perfect Metallica song.
Interesting that you bring up Fell on Black Days because the title of this demo was actually FOBD. Metallica called the demo that for Fell on Black Days. So they felt that way about it too. This is a song that James wrote about his mom when she was suffering from cancer. So James talks about his family a lot. His parents were Christian Scientists growing up. So if you know anything about Christian Scientists, they're not into medicine. They're not into healing. They're not into that kind of stuff. So watching his mom suffer, this song is a lot more thoughtful and emotional. Any Metallica fans out there that have heard Dyer's Eve off Injustice for All, that is a brutal song of James pretty much screaming at his parents about being Christian Scientists. This song is a little bit more emotional for him. Another thing about this song, I agree, it's great melody. It highlights James's strength as a soft, quote unquote, singer and as, angry James. But one thing we have to talk about, and I know we will, is the horrific video for this song. An absolute fucking dumpster fire of a. It makes me want to not be a Metallica fan because Lars and Kirk, what are you doing in this video?
All right, okay. Written by just James and Lars. This was their lead single, #1 on mainstream rock, and the first ever top 10 on the Billboard charts. It became number 10 for them. You know what a funny thing is I read about this? It's the first pirated MP3. Okay. And I can only imagine how fucking pissed off Lars Ulrich would have been.
Yep.
You yellow you motherfucker. You dirty, rotten son of a bitch. You're a cocksucker and a motherfucker. You're a whore bastard. You're no fucking good, you son of a...
Like, of all the people, like, he's probably like Napster, now MP3, you motherfuckers. Like, right?
Yep.
I saw, in reviewing this, you go down that rabbit hole on YouTube. I saw a clip where it was him and Chuck D on that guy that used to do those interviews. Is Charlie Rose I'm thinking of? Talking about like Napster and the artists and stuff. And the fucking hatred Lars Ulrich was in his eyes to Chuck D when he's like, who cares? Let the people have their music. He must have been like, I will fucking kill you when this is over. I can only imagine what he was doing when somebody stole the MP3.
You fucking sneaky bastard. I'm gonna take you to work. I'm gonna nail it to the wall. I'm gonna crush your boils in a meat grinder. I'm gonna cut off your arms. I'm gonna shove them up your asshole.
But regardless, it won Best Rock Video on MTV in 1996. Oh, they've come a long way from not doing videos, huh? Oh. And it won Metal Edge's Song of the Year. Like, Metal Edge?
Metal Edge?
Yeah, I know. What did he beat out? Fucking Danger? Like, I mean, come on. Metal Edge.
Settle down,
and to me, I know you talk about Fell on Black Days. If you listen to this back, remember, I'm hearing Metallica in these albums and this album and these songs for the first time. You know what I pick up on this? Dream Warriors.
Oh, wow, okay.
And the pickup, and then when it picks up, I'm telling you, it's in there. The video. Let's go to that. The video is directed by the guy that did Nirvana, Green Day, Smashing Pumpkin, and boy, does it fucking show.
Oh, God.
This is, hey, look at us. We can be doing a video like heart-shaped box on the cross. I'm like, dude, it's such a ripoff.
It's brutal.
And between the haircut, the makeup, the eyeliners, the acting, are they acting in a video? Like, they always used to do, like, performance videos or cool things like fucking what's the one with all the girls smashing shit while they're fucking jamming?
Oh, Whiskey in a Jar.
Whiskey in a Jar, right? Or I think of one where the background stuff is a story, but they're just performing. This
brutal.
What is it? And then they make poor Jason Newsted playing dirt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on a cross and thorns on me. Well, I'm gonna wear eyeliner and have a boa and I'm gonna be make up with glam and rip my shirt and what am I gonna be doing? You see that pile of dirt over there? Why don't you go act like a fucking pig and play in the dirt there?
Poor
Jesus
Jason.
Christ.
Yep.
Mentally beat on the guy. And then fucking Lars like trying to scream into the camp. Like, dude, you're not scary. No. Ooh, I'm a tiger. Like, shut the fuck up.
Put him up. Put him up. Which one are you first? I'll fight you both together if you want. I'll fight you with one paw tied behind my back. I'll fight you standing on one foot. I'll fight you with my eyes closed.
Oh, I know. I know a little German. He's right over there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I really don't know any German.
That's all right. I know a little German. He's sitting over there.
Settle down, little Lars.
It's just, come on. Now, seeing this, not knowing anything about Metallica, I would say, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. I like that. I can totally see an STP video like that or anything like that. I would love it. It's just, I can imagine, like you said, the fucking Kill 'Em All fans watching the premiere of this video and hearing this song and looking at that, their heads must have fucking got blown out apart.
Yeah, not good. Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to add?
Nope.
All right, let's move it on to
several. I have several
times. Normally, I hate that 60 seconds of creating moods. Like, I don't need the fucking mood created. But the build-ups with the instruments coming in one by one on this actually works for me. Songs vary. I mean, it could have been on master. It could have been on black. The groove is cool. The vocal melody is cool. I like the lyrics because it tells a cool story. It's actually the first song, and I didn't realize I was doing it until I started thinking about it. It was the first song on the CD. Well, I was listening to Spotify, so I should say the first song on Spotify that actually made me start playing air drums. Like, I was like, all right, here we go. This is the Metallica that I absolutely love. And finally, Kirk, thank you, because I'm waiting for the solo to come up. I'm like, please don't screw this solo up. Like, this song is so good. And he actually did a great solo. And then, of course, they got to end it with, we had a diamond album. So, off to Never Never Land. That's kind of cheesy a little bit, but the song totally works for me. I really like this song.
Oh, yeah, it's a killer song. Like I said, it's kind of Metallica reminding people, hey, we're still Metallica. We can write a kick-ass rock song with a great riff. Very cool song. And there's an urban legend about this song, too. And I was digging to try to find some facts, but there's a legend that this song may have been written about Axl when Metallica was touring with Guns N' Roses, because everybody knows how Axl is a prima donna and the world revolves around him when he's on tour, and he likes to fuck with people just to be the attention. Whether or not that's been confirmed or not, it could have been loosely based on him. The video is kind of cool. This is a little bit better of a video, actually a lot better of a video than the Until It Sleeps video. But like Sonny said, I love that intro, just like that kind of buzzing guitar. Then the bass kicks in, then the drums, and then you have the song. It's a very cool song.
Written by Hetfield, Ulrich, and Hammett. Question mark, I saw that it was maybe a sequel to Enter Sandman, and then obviously with the nod at the end. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I guess it was the fourth single released from the album, and I can see why. It's a great tune. With number 6 on mainstream rock, number 90 is a single. It's actually played in an episode of The Sopranos in the background in season 2 in the Bada Bing.
Fuck you, Santa!
Oh, wow. I like that it builds up. The way it's building up, do you know what it reminds me of? The way it starts off with that thing? 2 songs. It makes me think of fucking Robert Plant's Simply Irresistible.
Robert Palmer.
Robert Palmer. Plant. Yep. Robert Palmer's Simply Irresistible. And the other one it reminds me of is Living on a Prayer.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I could see that a little bit.
In the box and stuff, it starts building up. It's got a great riff. The solo is the first one that I wrote is pretty sick.
Yes.
I think the video is pretty good. I love the imagery. They're playing in a snowstorm at night. Mm-hmm. It's just like, it looks a little badass. I'll be honest with you. I like that.
Yeah, it's a cool video. Agreed.
Yeah, it's a very good song. And we're moving it on to the hero of the...
I'm saying that.
I do too, because I can't wait to hear
going, oh, fuck. Yeah. All right. So the song building and then dropping back into a ballad. Love it. Kirk actually did a great solo, which is great. I like the faster tempo a couple of times. But overall, this song's just kind of meh to me. And really it is because Hetfield can't sell a vocal like this. Like, there is something different between this one to me and Until It Sleeps. I think it's almost too ballady, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what it is. It needs like a softer touch on the vocal melody, and Hetfield doesn't get that. And I get it. Mama, they try to break me, just in case you didn't hear it the first 83 times. Like, come on, dude. Like, can you do anything?
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
I don't know if the same message has got to be played over and over and over and over. It just loses me after a while. But reality of this song is, to me, James can't sell it.
Yeah, it's a good song. I think there's a really good song somewhere in there that could have been worked on, like Sonny said. I think it has the roots of a song that really could have been awesome. It's kind of 2 songs in one, because it has that kind of like melodic, kind of soft tone, and then it kicks in with Lars and the double bass, and it kind of, okay, this is a heavy song, and then it kind of goes back. I mean, I like it. I think it's one of the better songs on the album, but I think it could have been much better if it was executed a little bit differently. But I kind of understand where Sonny is coming from, but I do like the song.
Written by Hetfield, Ulrich, and Hammett. You said that there's a song in there. And you know what that song is? It's Fleetwood Mac's Hold Me. That's what I picked up.
No.
It is. It is. It's the same melody.
God.
It's in there.
Okay.
Listen to it again and go listen to Hold Me, and you'll say, yeah, I can hear it in there. Yep. I'm telling you. I mean, again, this is an album that I'm picking up and hearing the first time. I'm like, I know this. I know this. Where do I know this from? And you know where I also picked it up? Someone else mentioned it in the YouTube comments when I watched the video.
Wow. Okay.
That it's in there as well.
I've got it in my head right now. Is that hold me, hold
Yeah.
me, hold me. It is there. That's there.
Hold me, hold
Yeah.
me. The hero of the day. You know. Anyways, is this a power ballad?
Oh God, no.
No.
No. Not even close.
Curious. All right.
No.
It's the second single. It went #1 on rock mainstream, 60 on Billboard. I don't know what this means. Rare Metallica song in a major key. All you musicians out there know that. The video is fucked up with that druggy kid. And he's like playing around and just doing stupid shit. And then a girl comes. I don't know if he bangs her, he doesn't bang her, whatever happens. Then he passes out and it's like bugs start coming out of his ear or robots and shit. This is a little fucked up. It seems a little like STP to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, the video, the song, just the whole thing. I could picture it a little. And again, this is Metallica. Like, this seems like a band that should fit right in the 90s. This does not seem like...
Which is exactly what Lars was trying to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
But I liked it a lot. I really did. I think it's a great song. Let's move on to the next one.
Home.
Oh, boy.
8/18 by Hollywood. I'm hoping to hear something. I'm hoping to hear something that interests me. I'm praying to give a flying. I'm praying to give a flying fuck, for Christ's sake. This song is too fucking long. Right? It's actually great storyline. It's a great idea for the lyrics. It just needs to be faster and shorter. And listening to it for 8/18, you're bleeding me now, and I did nothing to you, to be honest.
I love this song. A lot of people, like a lot of people say when we talk about Kiss, it's like, oh, it's not a Kiss song. Okay, this is not a Metallica song, but I love it's kind of like when we did the Super Unknown review. I love those long, drawn out, like just ballads that come and go, that have different. They take you different places. It's like it starts off very slow and melancholy. And then it kicks in a little bit. Then it speeds up a little bit near the end. Then it slows back down again. It's got a solo. It's got James singing softly. It's got James screaming. Yeah, the song's way too long. There's no need for Metallica to make a song this long unless it's Master of Puppets, and this is not Master of Puppets. But I like the idea of it because it's talking about James in his battle with alcohol. He's talking about bleeding out all the bad, bleeding out, getting the evil out, getting everything out of him that's bad. And I just think James does a really good job of conveying that image of somebody that's struggling with something and trying to...
I want to kiss you. I couldn't care less about the team struggling.
Trying to pour it out in a song and taking you on that emotional ride of the soft singing, the loud singing, the soft music, the heavy music. I love it. To me, it's surprisingly, it's a go-to song for me. Again, I'll say it's not a quote-unquote Metallica song, but I like it. That being said, it is too long.
It's not, because it sounds like it was Alice in Chains and early Pearl Jam. But it's written by Hetfield, Ulrich, and Hammett. #6 on mainstream rock, but not released as a single. It's one of the few Metallica songs that have a Hammond organ. I don't know where that played in. I couldn't pick that up. Another plodding song. Song keeps building and building and building. And then at the 4:50 mark, it becomes a whole different type of song. I'll be honest. James Hetfield was ripping it up. I was impressed.
Yep.
Pouring his heart out there. I thought the passion, I could believe it. I could feel it. I love the lyrics. I like that he keeps plodding up and building it up. That's why me and Tom like Soundgarden. That's why me and Tom like this song.
Yep.
If you can pull it off with your vocals and what you're singing in the chorus and the way you're vocalizing the words, it hooks you in. This is how it works for me. And there's a really nice guitar outro on this.
Yeah.
But I'm with Sonny on this. Like, Jesus Christ. Have you guys ever heard about a 3.5-minute song? What the fuck? Yeah, this is what I like. This by this point now, I'm like, holy fuck. I'm looking like the tracks. Like, how long are these songs? This is insane. Like, cut your shit down.
And it's not even the longest song on the album.
I know.
No, it's not.
But I have high praise for this. So
cool.
Let's move this along to the next one.
For me, I'm like, all right, a song that starts with a straight ahead rock beat. It's got a great riff. I'm like, all right, we got a rocker here. The chorus is kind of meh for me, though. For whatever reason, it just didn't connect with me. That whole, though, spoken word, and then continue saying the spoken word, and then melody comes over the top of it. I do believe. I say, I do believe. I like it. See what I did there? Anyway, you make the chorus a little bit better, and you take out 126 I do believe, and I think you got a better song. But overall, this song is okay.
I wish this was a video. I wish this was a video episode we were releasing right now.
I got Zeus right now.
All right, I'll jump in. So this is another song that Sonny and I are agreeing on here because it's got a killer Kirk Hammett riff. It's got a killer riff. It's got a groove and a swagger to it that you don't see a lot of Metallica in. I kind of share Sonny's sentiments on this song. I like the song. It's very cool. The chorus is kind of stupid. I kind of like,
Maybe they're stupid.
Yeah. Everyone's got to have the cure, whatever. It's a cool song, and I like the vibe. It's an awesome riff by Kirk.
Written by Hetfield and Ulrich. I agree with those sentiments. The riff is nice. There's nice drumming. The overdub vocals, I kind of dig as well. Nice solo on this. And I'm sensing some things. These are not Paul Stanley choruses. This is not "Turn on the Night."
No,
right? It just seems like sometimes, like when they want to get the chorus, I mean the name of the song in the chorus, that doesn't become like the vocal part where they're humming that along.
Yep.
Like they stop what they're doing, then because everyone seems to need the cure. Like, instead of being in the chorus where that's the humming along part. I've sensed a pattern of that with some of these songs here. It's never the actual main part of the chorus. They stop and then get to that part. So let's move this along. Next.
51 seconds of this song had promise. And then James starts the vocal. And then I started thinking, poor twisted me have to fucking listen to this. Because the vocal melody is just shit. And this song is really tough to listen to. But it's actually one of Kirk's best solos. So I was like, oh, let me at least get to the solo to see if Kirk can save this thing. And he tried, but this song's rough for me.
The beginning of the song is killer. The way it just kind of slowly, they're just kind of hitting those chords very, very quickly, and then it kicks in. But that kind of distorted vocal that they're using, whatever effect, it's just not good. The song doesn't really go anywhere. It's got a great solo, like Sonny said. James sounds great on it, like he always does, but it's okay. It's not a go-to song for me.
The song was written by Hetfield and Ulrich. It's another plodding song, decent drums and vocals, but yeah, it didn't do much for me.
Yeah.
But the one thing I'll say is continual. As I continue on this album, it's not a bad song, and I've yet to find one so far, but it's not bad. It's just
you ain't been looking hard enough.
Shut your mouth.
All right. Now, up to the next song. What track is this? Fucking track 28?
10.
I feel like there's a million songs on this.
We're up to number 10.
Okay, let's go.
Wasting My Hate. Again, straight ahead rock. Love the riff. It's got the punk feel, and I love the chorus. So it was actually one of the songs I liked the most. I don't know if you guys noticed, somehow the vocals dropped a little. It's like the vocal wasn't loud enough. All of a sudden, like the guitars were way louder. And I'm like, what the hell happened to the vocal? I thought my headphones were off, so I unplugged the headphones. I'm like, no. So for some, I don't know what's with the mix. Maybe I was hoping that Wasting My Hate would come off more angry if it was louder, right? Maybe that's what it was. But I really like the way that the song's written, and I like the punk flavor.
Yeah, and James at the beginning has an awesome angry grunt right at the beginning is when the song kicks in, and it's just like his his angry. I love when he does that James growl, kind of like we did with like Ain't My Bitch. Yeah, killer riff, cool. You know, I again talking about the order of the set list. You come off that kind of slow roller with Poor Twisted Me, and then they kind of just kick you in the ass with Wasting My Hate. Now, I read something, I like to get backgrounds on stories because the way that Metallica writes their songs. So I found something online that apparently James is good friends with Waylon Jennings, which is where James gets a lot of his Southern country background, especially on this album in particular. And apparently James kind of got the term Wasting My Hate from a story that Waylon Jennings had told him when he was at like a bar. And he kind of misinterpreted kind of an incident that happened when Waylon Jennings apparently got upset with somebody. Come to find out that he was kind of redirecting his anger at the wrong person, and he kind of said, I was kind of wasting my hate on the wrong person. James was like, oh shit, that's kind of a cool phrase. Maybe I'll take that and turn that into a song. Kind of like wasting my hate on you. Why am I so angry with you? So I thought that was kind of a cool little bit of tidbit there, but I think it's a killer song. Great riff.
It's because Waylon Jennings is cool.
Exactly.
Oh, here comes the sunny country music hate. Wasting My Hate, Hetfield, Ulrich, and Hammett. I like the funky guitar in the beginning. I like the it picking it up. Then it kind of picks up. The lyrics. Good day. How do? What?
Hello. How you?
Tom fucking took it. I was sorry where he was going to pick that up. This is another one of our stupid things. This is from that Red 2-bar tape. There's the one he calls up, and this guy named Froggy. Oh, you mean Froggy? How do?
That's all I think of when I hear this. Good day. How you?
Fred. Oh, Freddie. Speaking. This is Jackie. Hi. Yeah. How you doing? All right. I'm all right, too. Good boy. What have you been doing? Oh, just working hard. You know Jackie, huh? Jackie? Monticello. Oh. You don't ring a bell. You don't know me? My brother. My brother goes in there. Oh. Want to talk to him? Yeah. You mean Froggy? Who? Froggy? No. Froggy? Who's that? No, that's another... Who's Froggy? That's another... I don't know if it's another brother of yours, but... Hello? Oh, Ted. Oh, Jesus. I was only thinking about you yesterday. How are you? I got a fucking blowjob off a stranger. Because, son of a bitch, I insulted her. You cocksucker? I did. She got insulted. I said, well, I'm telling you the truth. Yeah. Froggy's old lady, you can fucking blow a mean flute. Well, you better get her then. I said, she was only a half an hour. You want a puff? Yeah, I chased the son of a bitch. Hey, you're selling them up. You're selling them up. If you see your mother, tell her to come down. I got about 4 guys lined up. Bring her down. Yeah. Bring her down and... I'll fuck your mother. Yeah, well, you gotta dig her up first. I'm down here. So down there and get her. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh, you mean they're Froggy?
Oh, here we go. Zeus is off the fucking rails.
That you picked up on that. Thank you. I don't have anything else to say. I like the song.
All right.
Pissing me off.
Oh,
because so the first, about 50 or so seconds, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, okay. What the hell is that? Is that a steel guitar? And then I'm like, oh, this song sucks. And then by the time the verse comes back and it gets me back into it, and here comes a steel guitar again. Like, you take that stupid guitar out of this thing, and it is an incredible song. But that guitar makes it unbelievably unlistenable to me. Like, I think it's a great idea. I don't know why it needed that. I can't believe Bob Rock didn't say, what the hell is that? Get that shit out of there. I don't know.
I am blown away that Sonny Pooney likes this song. I was expecting you to just bludgeon this song.
Oh, I'm going to bludgeon it in the rankings because of the steel guitar.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway.
But this is one of those songs where we like to say, oh, it's not a Metallica song. But the thing I love about this song, I think it's executed perfectly. I think it highlights James' strength. I think it shows that if James wanted to do something completely different and become a country star, like anybody out there, I'm not a fan of the band Stained, but when Aaron Lewis started his solo career and became like a country rocker, James could absolutely do that if he wanted to. I think it's a cool song. It's unusual. It's shocking if you're a Metallica fan to hear this, but I think it's executed well, and I think James does a nice job on it.
Written by Hetfield and Ulrich. This is why I don't think that you listen to country music, because he can't pull this off. This is not country music. This is some guy that does metal, like thinks he can do country music. Oh, just give me guitar. I'm gonna be like Bon Jovi in what was that fucking song that he did there from Young Guns? Remember? And
Blaze of Glory.
Like I've got a country attitude now. Like, shut the fuck up. Look, I'm shaking my head. Okay. I don't get this. I understand the lyrics, and it's a personal song. It just doesn't work as a country song. I love me some steel guitar. Not on this, I don't. Okay? He sang this song with Jessie Coulter. That's Waylon's fiance, his wife for many years on the CMT's Outlaw concert. Now, Murph will attest, Jessie Coulter was a smoke show. And that's a second part of him and Waylon. He did a cover of a Waylon song too on that concert as well. The video, he's wearing a purple satin shirt.
Yeah, not
that
good.
Would make fucking Bon Jovi blush. Bon Jovi would say, I'm not wearing this in the video. Yet he wore it.
Yep.
And he's doing this cowboy thing. I enjoy the fact, and I can respect the fact that it's personal to him. He's attempting something different. It's not terrible, but he can't do a country song. I didn't see it. It's the third single. I don't believe this charted at all. It just.
Did you look at the country charts? Are you sure?
It didn't chart anything. I don't think it was gonna. I mean, at least I didn't see any information of it charting anywhere. So
me neither.
So it's just one of those things that I'm like waiting for it to pick up. It starts off with like a lot of songs, maybe an acoustic, and then it gets into something heavy. Jeez, I thought it was going to be something like "I Want You" or something from Kiss, but it's just it didn't work for me. And it just didn't pick up. But I will give him kudos for the lyrics and for obviously meaning something to him. It's not like, hey, let me try to do a country song. I think this is how he saw that. Maybe he was getting into country. You make a point that he was getting into Waylon Jennings or something. Maybe he wanted to attempt it or something. I don't know, but it just didn't work for me. Let's go to the next.
Then I like the dark vibe. Love the guitar riff. One of my favorite songs of all time. I heard about 50 seconds in, and I'm like, oh, it hooked me because I totally hear Sex Type Thing, right? That's one of my favorite songs. And I love the Alice in Chains harmonies in the song. It's one of my favorites, I will say that. It's one step away from being incredible. I just don't know what the one step is. Normally, I can tell, but I listened to the song probably 15 times in a row, and I'm like, there's something missing. I just don't know what it is. But it's a great song. I really liked it.
Yeah, it's an awesome song, and I think you're right. I think the thing missing is I don't like when the song kind of stops where he says, I am the thorn within, and then it kind of picks back up. If the song just kept going and maybe did a little bit of something different in that chorus part, but I think it's got another killer riff, a great rock tune. James again sounds awesome on it. Yeah, it's a cool song. I think they could have tweaked it a little bit in the middle to kind of make it even better than it is.
Written by Hetfield, Ulrich, and Hammett. So we go from Mama to Daddy. Forgive me, Father.
Yep.
Great vocals. The riff is kick-ass. And a short solo, because I think James did the solo on this one too.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds a little bit like Wherever I May Roam, right?
Yes.
That's where I picked up. I felt like this was a little bit familiar. But this song is fucking great.
Oh, fucking great.
Yeah. It's a good song.
Sometimes it's just hard to describe it, but when you hear a riff and the vocals, it just works. It works. And they did a great job on this. Now let's go shoot up some kids.
Ronnie, love the main riff. The song's got kind of that blues feel, that cool groove. Obviously, they do it much better than country. Kind of feels a little bit like a slower King Nothing or Enter Sandman. So songs like this by a band like Metallica with James's vocal prowess, I could listen to songs like this all bloody day. Get it?
Oh, God. Well done, Sonny.
I can sing it for you all bloody day. I could do it that way. Is that better?
That's not better, but thank you.
That's actually pretty good. I thought that was pretty good. Good job.
It's a good song. I like it. So there's a couple different stories about whether or not this is based on. So I like doing the internet research here. So it's supposedly based on a kid named Ronnie Brown, who they called Ronnie Frown because he never smiled, and you can hear James talk about that in the middle of the song. I Googled a bunch of things. There was a school shooting in the Washington State area in the mid-'90s, but the story that I found was the shooter was not named Ronnie Brown. There was a shooter. Kid came to school dressed as like a gunslinger with handguns and rifles and like one of those dusters that you'd see like in a Western movie. I don't know if that's what this is, but I could not find a school shooting where the shooter was named Ronnie Brown. So I don't know if maybe he just changed the information to protect the people involved, even if it's based on anything at all. It's a cool song. It kind of doesn't go anywhere for me. It's kind of like, I've lost my way this bloody day. I'm like, oh, go do something else with it. It's okay, but I kind of wish they did a little bit more with it. And then it has the talking part where he's like, Ronnie Brown came to town and all that stuff. So trying to paint like, the man with no name or whatever it is kind of story there. But whether or not it's based on a true story, I don't know. I don't know, Zeus, if you found anything else there, but I couldn't.
Okay. Ronnie, written by Hetfield and Ulrich. Funky riff.
Yep.
I actually really love this song. It's got a good groove to it. And you're lucky you guys have the country guy on this show, because I don't know the background of Metallica, but he must have gotten into some sort of a country phase, because this song is a Tanya Tucker song lyrics, Blood Red and Going Down.
Okay.
Which that song was about a dad that was out to go kill his cheating wife and drags his daughter with him, looking for the two of them to be the cheating wife and the adulterer, and goes in, finds him in a bar and shoots them all up. And the song is called Blood Red and Going Down. And he constantly mentions it in the song of some guy going around shooting everybody down.
Yep.
That's a great song, but this is pretty good too. I like his vocal stylings on this. I mean, I'll give him credit. I think it's a pretty good song, and obviously he's got a lot of material to write about school shootings and crazy people, and I think he did a very good job on this. So let's move to the next song, and hopefully we won't talk 20 minutes about this next 20-minute song.
Law Torn. Let me start with the good. The chorus guitar riff is unique, and James is a hero on this song. Like, where he's at vocally when he says torn every time in the chorus. I mean, he's hitting notes that are unbelievable. I love the little vocal licks he does in the verse with that that little thing. That's not usually a guy who's singing thrash can pull something like that off. That being said, I cannot believe they cut a minute off this song. You mean to tell me this song was supposed to be 10 minutes? Like, it should have stopped at like 5 minutes, right? So I got a feeling this is what happened. Somebody went to Bob Rock and said, hey, for every minute of a listener life you waste with this stupid shit, you get an extra 10 grand. And he goes, hey, it's an easy way to make like 300 extra grand. I think I'll do it. This song just drags. It's like, get it over with. For only because of the length of the song is what makes it somewhat unlistenable for me.
Yeah, to me, this song is just what a perfect ending. It's like the cherry on top of this, because it's just an epic. I love these songs. I've said it before about Bleeding Me, and we talked about it before on Super Unknown with some of those long songs like 4th of July and like Suicide. I love this. I love, like you said, James's voice. The song goes different places. It calms down. It kind of picks up at the end. It gets very passionate, very emotional. It's a standout for sure for me. And so the full version of this, so on the single for the Memory Remains, which is off Reload, they put the single, the Outlaw Tone single on that. That has the full version with the solo by James. All that had to get cut out because when they released the CD, CDs only have a finite amount of space. So I think they had that's why they said we can't fit this much music on the CD. Something has to be cut. And like Sonny said, the fact that the fucking song was over 10 minutes long, the fact you even got to that point is a problem. But that being said, I think it's a spectacular song. I think it's a standout for me. And it's long. Yes, nobody really wants to get into the habit of listening to 9.5-minute songs, but I love it. I think it's terrific.
All right. The Outlaw Torn, Hurtfield, and Ulrich builds. But I am going to guess, Sonny, whose side am I taking? Yours or Tom's?
Taking Tom's side here for sure.
Tom, who am I taking?
You're taking mine.
He's right. Tom is right.
I'm right. I said Tom too.
Okay. Yeah. Tom's right in his opinion. You are correct. You did get Tom. So this is our Like Suicide.
Yep.
Oh, right? The ending of the album, perfect coda.
Yep.
That fucking riff. Thank God I almost lived my life without hearing that riff.
See? That's what we're here for.
To Tom, I heard it. Holy fuck. I love that. At the end. Oh my God. James did the solo on this, the third of the final solos that he does.
Yep.
The solo is incredible. The vocals are incredible. I can't say enough about this song.
Shocking. I am shocked.
We need to shock the people. So let's shock the people.
And it's funny that you say it because there was an article that I found on, I think it was loudersound.com or something.
Loudness, would you say?
Yeah, we are loudness. And they did they did a top 10. It was an interesting top 10. It was top 10 Metallica songs from the 90s. And the Outlaw Torn was number 1. And I was so happy to see that. And they said, the high point of Metallica's 90s output, Load's closing track, is an atmospheric weighing up of loss and regret, which, as with the Unforgiven, unfurls into a widescreen cinematic epic. Metallica was forced to cut a whole minute from the song's outro to accommodate the CD's running time. The full-length version later appears on the B-side of The Memory Remains. But the breathtaking version on the S&M, the live show when they perform with the symphony, shows this remarkable band at their transcendent best. Ooh, I couldn't say it any better myself. The fucking song is awesome.
I will add one other part to this, though. I am admitting, I joked in the beginning. I didn't notice that the song was long. I didn't notice that, when is this going to end?
Yep.
I enjoyed it. I wasn't like, oh, what the fuck? I could hear that riff over and over in those vocals.
Nice.
Fantastic. So
cool. All right.
That is all the tracks off a Load, all 68. So I'm exhausted. We've now been taping for 2 weeks. In the meantime, what do we usually do at this point?
We rank the songs.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. It's a big one.
Oh boy, I really did it good this time.
Yeah. So, Sonny, are you going to be able to use the calculator and figure this out quickly?
14 songs.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So, what order are we going in this time?
I'll go first.
So, Tom, why don't we have Sonny last? I don't think he's ever gone last.
Okay.
So, Tom, me, Sonny. So there are 14 tracks. Tom, number 14.
The House That Jack Built is number 14 for me.
Okay. Number 14 for me, you could probably tell from when we reviewed the song, Mama Said.
Okay.
And I still don't think it's that bad of a song.
14 for me is The House That Jack Built.
Ooh.
Unlistenable.
Wow. Yeah, it's not good. That's rare for me because I can tolerate pretty much everything from Metallica. That's just
I don't
not a
mind
good
that
song.
chorus.
Yeah.
How do you? I don't mind that.
Yeah.
13 for Tom.
Mama Said. And I still like the song.
Yeah, there you go. Me is Poor Twisted Me.
Okay.
13 for me is Bleeding Me.
Oof.
What?
Here we go.
That song could have been so great if it was like about 4 minutes.
Oh, God.
All right.
It is what it.
Number 12 for Tom.
Poor Twisted Me.
Okay. Number 12 for me, The House That Jack Built. 12, Sonny?
12 for me is Poor Twisted Me.
Wow. Okay.
So basically, me and Tom just have the order changed so far.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, that's
and Sonny basically has, except for Bleeding Me.
Okay.
We're not far off from each other this time. 11.
11, Ronnie.
Okay. 11 for me, Wasting My Hate.
Wow. Okay. 11 for me is Mama Said.
Wow, you're kinder to it than we were.
Oh, look at that. 10, Tom.
10, Until It Sleeps.
Wow. Seriously?
Oh, my God. Holy Christ.
God damn, that's a fucked up shit.
Yeah, I want people to. I want the hate mail this time.
Yeah, you're gonna get it. You're headed there.
Ronnie, number 10 for me, and I really like that song.
Wow. Okay. 10 for me was 2x4. That chorus killed it. That chorus absolutely killed it for me.
9.
Number 9, Wasting My Hate.
Number 9 for me, The Cure.
Number 9 for me, and it's just because it's too long. The Outlaw.
Oh, dear God. He's back. Sonny's back.
8.
Number 8 for me, Cure.
The Cure.
No, it's actually Cure.
Is it?
Yeah.
My fucking thing, when I downloaded everything off the CD, also had Wasted My Hate on it. You know, like it reads the tracks.
Oh, wow. No, that's
yeah.
wasted.
Yeah. Wow. I had The Cure. Okay. Wow. Anyways, number 8, 2x4.
All right. 8 for me is Hero of the Day.
Ooh. Oh, God. 7.
7 for me, Bleeding Me. This could have been higher, but these next few songs are pretty. Shut your mouth.
7 for me, Ain't My Bitch. 7?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I really like this song, too.
Wow.
Okay.
7 from you was Cure.
All right.
6
for me, Hero of the Day.
6 for me, King Nothing.
Wow. Okay. 6 for me was Ronnie. I actually really like that song.
Really? Okay.
So do I.
All right.
So do I.
5 for me. 5 for me is Thorn Within.
5 for me, I'm Bleeding Me.
Why do you keep adding shit to the song lyrics?
Am I adding it?
Yeah, it's Bleeding Me.
Why the fuck did it come out like that then?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It was just stop the show. You got to fix it. Stop the show.
Stop the show!
Bleeding Me.
He's got to fix it right now.
Yeah, I got a bootleg, one of those Tommy CDs.
5 for
Bleeding Me.
5 for me is Thorn Within.
Oh, wow. The same one. All right. So number 4 for me, 2x4.
Number 4 for me, Thorn Within Me. Just joking. See if you're paying attention. Thorn Within.
4 for me is Wasting My Hate. On you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3 for me is King Nothing.
3 for me, Hero of the Day.
3 for me is Ain't My Bitch.
That is my number 2. Ain't My Bitch is my number 2.
Until It Sleeps. Number 2.
My number 2 is Until It Sleeps.
I am so happy right now. Like, I am like bursting with so much joy that Zeus and I have the same number 1. He just bought this CD and we have the same number 1, the Outlaw Torn.
Absolutely.
I can't believe this. This is turning. It's a Festivus miracle.
You understand? I never heard this album.
I know
before.
that. I know, and we
2 weeks ago,
and I've owned this for 20 years, and we have the same number 1 album. I mean, the same number 1 song.
The number 1 song in this album is King Nothing.
It's a good song. I'm not going to argue with that.
Very good song.
All right, so our collective top 3: King Nothing with 10 points, Outlaw Torn with 11 points because 2 idiots, and Ain't My Bitch came number 3.
Wow, that's a good top 3.
So which one was number 1? Or did you read it from 1 to 3, or from 3 to 1?
It went King Nothing, then Outlaw Torn. It's number 1 was King Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, Outlaw Torn was 2, and Ain't My Bitch was 3. But they were all within 2 points.
Nice, awesome,
Great.
Awesome. All right.
Wow.
Shocking. Shocking surprise for me.
Yeah. So let's go. Now we're going to rank them against the episodes that we did previously, the albums.
Okay.
So we've reviewed so far Appetite for Destruction, Pyromania, Slide It In, Super Unknown, OU812. And now we've done Load. Tom, I don't know if you know, but when we did album covers, your number 1 was Appetite, then Pyromania, Slide It In, Super Unknown, OU812. Where do you put this?
This album cover is so fucking bad. But OU812 is. Here's the question: do I want to look at blood and jizz, or do I want to look at the fucking band members from Van Halen? That's pretty much what it comes down to. I'm keeping OU812 last.
Oh, come on, dude! Now you're just being a hater. Okay, that's
what I'm that album cover is terrible. It's
right.
bad.
So mine was Appetite for Destruction, Slide It In, Pyromania, Super Unknown, OU812. Load is easily number 6 for me.
Okay,
just stupid, and plus they changed the awesome Metallica logo and stuff.
No, you're right. You're right.
So I put that my.
I just can't get over that Van Halen group photo all serious. I'm like, you're the fucking one of the biggest rock bands in the entire.
But it's like it's a very common. It's you know what it is, that OU812. It's very safe album cover. You know, it's been done many times just to fucking cover the band.
So it's not blood and semen, and that's not safe.
Yeah. It's a hazmat suit.
Sonny, you've had Slide It In, Pyromania, Appetite for Destruction, Super Unknown, OU812 in that order.
And Load is bringing up the rear.
Yeah.
Oh, careful with that language, Sonny. What the hell are we talking about?
You like that? That was
he put a load in someone's ear in the rear? What the fuck? Anyway, let's go to the other part. We've reviewed, Appetite for Destruction. We reviewed Slide It In. We did OU812, Super Unknown, and Pyromania. Okay. Now, Tom, you've ranked your albums this way. Pyromania, Appetite, Super Unknown, Slide It In, OU812. Where does Load go in?
This is tough because I really do like this album. So what do I have last? I have last I have OU812, and then
you have Slide It In. Above it, Super Unknown. Above that, Appetite. Above that, Pyromania.
All right. It's Metallica. It's not better. Just on principle, I cannot put it ahead of Super Unknown, which is a Mount Rushmore grunge album. And I love Slide It In, but this is Metallica. So by a hair, I'm going to put it above Slide It In for me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's tough for me because I love Slide It In, but that's a tough one for me.
So for me, I had Pyromania, Appetite for Destruction, Super Unknown, Slide It In, OU812. Where do I put Load? I put it in underneath Slide It In. So it is, again, I like all these albums. I like OU812.
Me too.
But I like Load better than OU812, but I don't like it as much as Slide It In.
Wow, I thought for sure this would be dead last for you, Zeus. I'm impressed that you.
And this may move up. This may move up someday for me.
Okay,
this is definitely going to continue on my rotation.
Awesome,
and I'll be happy when the songs come on from this album. There was nothing skippable about this album. Nothing.
Sonny doesn't like that.
Sonny, you had Slide It In, Appetite, Pyromania, OU812, Super Unknown. Where does Load fit in?
In the rear.
Oh, you have it lower than Soundgarden. Wow.
And the only reason is because I thought about it a lot. And the songs on Super Unknown that I absolutely love are incredible songs. There's some, I would say there's 6 great songs for me on the CD, 4 good, 4 unlistenable. But out of the 6 great songs, there's only like 1 or 2 that I would even put up anywhere near stuff like Fell on Black Days, right? Wow. So that's why I had to go to end for me.
Interesting. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, but the hatred of Head Down in Half, I thought would make you go, I don't hate anything like this on Metallica's album.
The only thing that saved that was those 2 songs times 2 equals some of the length of these songs. At least those songs were.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Actually, you're right. And then if you throw Kickstand in there, it probably, right, equals 1 song.
That's right.
Yeah. It's a good point. It was funny. Before we started recording today, I was cutting my lawn. So I was like, I always listen to music when I cut the grass. So I'm like, I'm going to listen to Load one more time just before the episode. I think I got through like 1.5 songs as I was cutting my lawn.
That's the hardest part of this. And this is why I wanted to shoot Tom. Like, dude, I have to listen to 70 fucking, like, almost 80 minutes of music to learn.
Yeah, it's not the Paul Stanley solo album with 9 songs. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
All right. So
Awesome.
That was fantastic. Great pick, Tom.
Awesome.
Mr. Pooney, you're on the clock for next time.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I already have 3 choices. After we get done recording, I'm going to get your votes on it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So after we do this, you know what comes next. We just did the albums. You make me rock hard. Tom, what makes you rock hard?
I hate that. I hate answering that question.
I can change it for just you.
No.
You matter to me. What matters to you?
No, it's okay. So I'm going to kind of stick with the Metallica theme here a little bit, but I'm also going to talk about books because I've recommended some books in the past. And anybody out there that likes to read like rock bios about bands or in general, talking about our episode we had a week ago with the great Martin Popoff. So there's another journalist named Mick Wall who wrote a huge bio on Metallica called Enter Night, a biography of Metallica written by Mick Wall. Mick Wall has written some amazing books about Guns N' Roses, Zeppelin. He's a great author. He's written books about Ozzy, Iron Maiden. If you're not a Metallica fan, he has other books. But if you are, it's an amazing book. It's called Enter Night, a biography of Metallica written by Mick Wall. It's a spectacular book. It's huge, covers their entire career in unbelievable detail. Very, very good read.
Okay. For me, I have been on a major grunge fit. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was, doing the Soundgarden, whatever. I just got into the college music. I created a playlist. I put it on my phone, and it was all those songs. Everything from the Big Six, which I call the Big Six, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden, and Smashing Pumpkins. I will throw in some other music in there. I don't even know if it was from that era. I also did 3 more years afterwards for law school, so I might be blurring some of the timeline with some of those, but I can't get enough. The brilliance of like Jerry Cantrell and Alice in Chains, Chris Cornell's vocals, just forgetting, because they get a lot of hate from a lot of our listeners and a lot of the hard rock metal people, Nirvana, and just Kurt's voice. And it's just Pearl Jam, early Pearl Jam. And I guess the old Def Leppard Rock of Ages intro, right, comes into mind. Better to, fade away than to continue like Pearl Jam's doing. What would, Lane Staley's Alice in Chains sound like, or Soundgarden right now playing, or obviously Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots? What would they be like right now? We only have Pearl Jam really left. Smashing Pumpkins does not have the original guys, and their bass player, who used to be a smoke show, is like all banged up meth head. I don't even think she's in the band. Billy Corgan's doing like wrestling fucking gigs. I don't know what the hell happened to him.
No.
But really, it's Pearl Jam. But we still have the music. I play it nonstop. Lately, I've been getting more of an Alice in Chains vibe, especially their Unplugged. And I'm really digging on the Jerry Cantrell actually sung songs, because we all know Lane Staley's voice is just incredible. And we all know those. But he's got some incredible ones himself. And I'm a big fan of Jerry Cantrell, and I'm a big fan of that era. So I've been playing my Stonehill music, Tom. I got my list ready to go.
Awesome.
I haven't thought about committing suicide. So
no, don't do that.
Yeah, music is still good. So that's what's been making me rock hard.
All right. Have either one of you seen the movie Defending Your Life?
No, but I have heard of it. I've never seen it.
I've seen portions of it. Is that the guy, Albert Brooks and Meryl Streep?
Yeah. So normally, I don't know if I've ever seen any other Meryl Streep movie, to be honest with you. And I've definitely not seen any other.
You didn't see The Deer Hunter?
No. And I've never seen a movie with Al Brooks in it. This movie, basically what the premise of the movie is Albert Brooks dies in a bus crash, basically. And before he goes to heaven or hell, to get to heaven, he has to go defend his life. So you get a lawyer, right? Yep. And then there's a prosecuting attorney, and they go through like parts of your life. Here's when you were 9 years old and 3 months and 10 days.
Wow.
And this is what you did on the playground. And what they're trying to do is figure out, do you still have fear? And if you don't have fear anymore, then you can go to the next level of whatever the next level is, right? It's a really cool movie. And then what ends up happening is Al Brooks falls in love with Meryl Streep at the area where they're defending their life, right? Because she's defending her life too, but she's a goody two-shoes, and everybody loves her. So, and if you suck, then you don't actually go to hell. You go back to Earth and try to do it again. You get to do it 20 times, and then they throw you away. It's one of those things. But it's a 1991 movie. It's a really feel-good, fun. It's not really a chick flick, but it's got a little drama to it. Like there's some. It's a really good movie. You should give it a shot.
Cool. I've heard of it, but I have never seen it. So that's very cool.
Interesting.
Nice.
Great. So, Sonny, where can we find you?
growinguprock.com is probably the best place to go. We're on iTunes and all that other stuff too, but we release every week and throw out some bonus episodes out there too. And then Podcast Rock City, All Kiss Podcast, we're out there pretty much every week.
Awesome. Sweet. Yeah, and we are Shout It Out Loudcast. You can reach us on all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, email at shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Part of the Great Pantheon podcast group, and we're available everywhere you can find your podcasts. Also, check out our buddy Ed over at Click Tea Shop for some cool Kiss-inspired gear, as well as some cool Shout It Out Loudcast gear. Give Ed your business. Check him out. Has some awesome stuff, new designs all the time, and new products all the time too. So check him out.
Great. Before we get into lyrics, thought we'd read some of the reviews that we've gotten recently. Sonny, you got something you want to read over there?
Yeah. So this email was about the Def Leppard bonus episode. It says, "Hey fellas, Just had a chance to hear your Jeff Leppard Pyromania episode. Very awesome. As always, you three do a fantastic job together. I'm a huge fan of Pyromania album. Every track's a winner. My wife and I had a chance to see them last September during their Planet Hollywood residency in Vegas. They sounded great live and played 5 or 6 songs from this album. It's always fun to hear the track rankings. Zeus, your rankings this time around were very, and then ... interesting. So I don't know if that means good or bad. And that's Stay Well for my brother Danny. So him and his wife Maria went to go see the show.
Cool.
Nice. Danny is awesome. Yeah, I told you I've been getting the shit lately about that. At least that album review. So it's kind of unique to hear Tommy got one earlier. But yeah, Danny's a great listener, and we love you, Danny. So thank you very much. Tom, what do you got?
So this one is from Doug Middleton. I think Doug's written into us before. Great episode and great album. Much better than that shitty OU812 or Super Unknown.
At least you took shots at both of us.
Yeah, right. You guys have incredible chemistry, and you are one of my go-to podcasts. I didn't buy a ring, but did buy some lotion for the motion with the wife and got some free porn.
Do I make you horny, baby? Do I?
I have to agree that this gets worse. I have to agree that I like it when Sonny whispers the ad. My wife was listening and said, "You guys sound cute," but then saw one of the live streams. Hold on a minute, I got to finish this. My wife was listening and said, "You guys sound cute," but then saw one of the live streams and said, "One of those guys are cute." And she wasn't talking about blank. I'm not going to say. She goes, "I'll let you guess who she was talking about." Clearly, she was talking about me because I'm the only good-looking guy out of this whole godforsaken group. Oh, man.
There's a lot of flavor to go around. Do you like your flavor Italian? Greek? Indian?
That's right. I was being kind. Sonny's trying to be nice. Oh, God.
Sonny's like, no, it's not the ethnic part. It's the fucking visual part. That's a fucking great one. Maybe Doug didn't want us to read this out loud.
Too bad. You can't send us. We tell you right up front. If you email us, we're going to read it. So.
Okay, what do you got next? Because good Lord.
Then we got one from our crazy buddy, Tony Smith. This is fucking great. So he starts off, "Zeus, what the holy hell was your song ranking list all about? Are you huffing paint thinner again? Why don't you make The Elder the next bonus episode so we can hear Zeus rank Fanfare as number 1? He says, "I know I'm a little bit late with the Soundgarden Super Unknown review. Here is my take on that album, short and sweet. I'd rather swallow a truckload of X-Lax and shit out a 40-foot cactus out of my ass sideways. When I ran out of toilet paper, I wiped my ass with that album."
He can't write to us without talking about shit.
Everything about him is shitting.
He has all about shit fetish.
It's unbelievable. Oh, my God. Right. Those are the listeners.
Right. Here's my favorite one. Mac Maddie. "These guys fight like an episode of Real Housewives. I love it. Are you three married to each other? Because you bicker like you are. And Murph, I guess, is like a shared girlfriend on the side."
The fucking... Oh, man.
Sonny's rankings were the best, and Zeus's rankings sucked. But I'm hammered right now, so what do I know?
The problem is I can't remember the things I did when I was loaded.
Now, my God.
If I could frame a fucking email from a listener, I think that would be it. That's exactly we love to. Just fun and enjoying yourself, and we don't take ourselves seriously. I'm glad you guys don't either. So that was fucking awesome.
Oh, my God. That is so good.
But in the meantime, and it would be a shame if I didn't bring this up, while our episode is going along, your arch nemesis was texting us.
Uh-oh.
And Yeah, Sonny's looking around. Who's my arch nemesis?
Yeah, which one? I have like 6.
No. Yeah, our good friend, Mr. Chris Jericho.
Hey, Sonny Pooney, what a piece of shit that guy is now.
Oh, shit.
And he gave us a list. He's all over the place sometimes with his listening. God can only imagine what he's got going on. He's got a pay-per-view tonight, AEW. So, well, it'll be too late by the time we.
Yeah, exactly. It's not live.
I hope you listen to it. But he ranked Sonny his he ranked the OU 812, so he must have bounced to that, and he gave us his top 10 of that. Number 10. No, he's not Sonny Pooney. He has common sense. He put 8 Political Blues. Number 9, Source of Infection. Number 8, Sucker in a 3-piece. Sorry, Tom. Number 7, Feel So Good. 6, AFU. 5, Black and Blue. 4, Mine Oh Mine. 3, Cabo Wabo. 2, When It's Love. Number 1, Finish What You Started.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jericho and I got some commonalities.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I think I was a little similar to that as well. I had Finished What You Started, number 1, and When It's Love, number 2. And Apolitical Blues, number 10. Oh, that song. Of course, Sonny put it 9. Anyway, we love that stuff. And any kind words you want to throw out to Chris?
I love you.
Okay.
I want a hug. Chris, can you send me in a hug emoji? I don't know.
Perfect. That'll do. Before we end, we're going to have some famous last words.
Go ahead, Zeus.
And when I start to come undone, stitch me together, save me. And when you see me shut, remind me of what left this outlaw torn.
Dude, those lyrics, so many great lyrics in that song, and that's one of them. Love it.
And that's why I asked to do the last one.
I know. When you said that, I was pissed because my lyric would have come from that. That's a great one. All right, I'll go next. But now the dreams and waking screams that ever last the night. So build the wall, behind it crawl, and hide until it's light.
Nice.
Careful what you wish. Careful what you say. Careful what you wish. You may regret it. Careful what you wish. You just might get it.
Nice. Awesome.
Awesome. Kiss Army, thank you. Sonny, thank you. Tom, thank you.
Guys, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. Zeus, I am thrilled that you enjoyed this album. I am shocked with happiness that we got the same number 1. Sonny, always interesting to get your hatred on stuff that we like, although you didn't hate this album as much as I thought you did. You ranked it last, but this was a blast. Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. It was a curveball, but that's what we like to do here. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sonny and Zeus.
Yeah, it was a great time, guys.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
We love you!